Hello everyone and welcome to the 2023 Chainhawk Open 12 presented by Dynamic Disc. We head over to Jonesville Park and our leader, Double G, he opened with a 13 under over at Northside. Carey shoots a 10 under. Then we have Nick Machuga. He comes in with a 10 under as well. And rounding out our card, we've got Byard. As I said, this is the front half of our second round. This PDGA A tier will play 3 rounds. Sunday will take place back at Northside. But let's take a look at hole 1 here at Jonesville. 315 feet. Pretty much dead straight. Slight finish on the right side. But if you throw a perfectly straight shot, you're not going to be disappointed. See a few guardian trees here just before the basket. As I said, Double G opened with a 13 under. Unofficially rated 1070. Oh, and that's going to put him on the dance floor. Carey was the early leader, quite literally, because he was the first card out on our MPO side during round number 1, and he came in with a 10 under, and right off the bat, that was leading. And here's new guy to the scene, Nick Machuga. Be short, but still look for birdie. Also, a guy we haven't necessarily seen on coverage, Byard. Also goes by Cam. It's great catching up with him during the round. Wow, that's quite the start. Out of position, left side. Dead center, birdie. Nick just outside of the circle. About 11 meters. And he threw it about 10 and a half or so. AJ and Double G about the same distance. AJ goes first, knocks it in. Double G's putter looked so hot during the first round. He had no bogeys. The closest time he came to one is when he had gone out of bounds on hole number 16. But he was able to convert and save the par there. Otherwise, incredible performance over at Northside. We head to hole number 2, very straightforward, just 230 feet. You see the obvious gap up the middle. Some people will play out to the right. There is a skinny gap on the left side. Some would say dealer's choice. I like the shot right up the middle, but I think we're going to see some creativity here. Wow, and just about trimming the bark on that one.
There we go.
Dead straight for Double G. AJ's trying to go out and around with the forehand. Through the uprights, that should give him a long look. And much tighter than what we saw from AJ. That one's going to get over for Nick. And surprisingly to me, that's going to skip forward quite a bit. Kind of slide up to pin high. I thought that would come up short.
Come on, baby, one time. Go in.
AJ giving it a bid. Way deep. Got to be impressed with the early putting here by Cam. 2 for 2. Low but in for Nick. Nick hails out of the Atlanta area. Double G also 2 for 2 to get started. check some stats. I've got to feel like hole 2 is on the easier side. In fact, the 5th easiest hole relative to par, averaging 2.62. Now we head over to hole number 3, 260 feet. We've really seen this attacked a number of different ways throughout the years. Seemed like the straight ahead gap that then finishes to the right, exactly as the drone flies. That's kind of the traditional route that we've seen. And in the last few years, we see a few people go up the right side. I wouldn't quite call it a cheater route, but the right side does get taken from time to time. But Double G says, I've got the forehand all day. Ham's going to go up the right side. And you got to beat that one. If you're confident with the forehand, I love just throwing it dead straight, getting it on edge, having the skip kind of finish toward the pin. You don't need to necessarily exaggerate it. That gets pulled over, but it's still going to give him a long look. Meanwhile, AJ lining up the right side gap. A couple of squirrels on the middle of the fairway I just saw. Unfortunately, AJ, he beats the initial tree, but then catches one behind it. Still some meat on the bone there for Cam. AJ said that I need to get the slow-mo ready here. I'm ready.
Slow-mo layup.
Yeah. I don't think layups get slow-mos, AJ. Wow. A great correction after the first putt being just a tad low. We see Nick come back with solid putts on 2 and 3. Here's Cam for par. And you don't see that every day. Old school terminology, that's called a draught. And new school is Double G dropping it in. No problem. What a great start. 3 for 3. It's going to lend a mini to AJ. And draught, I know you're sitting there wondering, what in the world are you talking about? In the old message board days, he technically legally should have marked that. We're not going to get too worked up. A draught, disc resting on top. And in case you're curious, does not count. So that means a bogey. We head over to 4. Dead straight. Not a lot to this other than trying to throw it perfectly straight. Sets up a little better for a righty versus a lefty, because if you beat all these trees and you come in low, you might get a skip straight and forward. Put a little more mustard on this. 351. What's your favorite kind of mustard? That's what I need to know. Honey mustard? Dijon mustard? Brown, spicy mustard? Yellow? You basic? Put it in the comments. Your favorite mustard. Maybe you hate it. I don't know. I don't know how in the world you'd eat a warm pretzel if you're not putting mustard on it. But that's what I need to know in the comments. That's going to make you eligible for a giveaway. Why isn't there a pretzel cart out at the course? That's what I need to know.
No skip.
AJ getting really particular. He wanted to skip up into the basket, and he didn't get quite the flare that he needed yet. He's just going to have to be content with a 12 or 15-foot birdie look. I believe the first year I attended this event, there was an ace on this hole that our friends over at Fox Hills had captured. Cam's putt is just short. Nick picks up holes 2, 3, and 4. Not a problem for AJ. And Double G trying to make light work of everything here so far, finding himself inside the circle. I think this is, in fact, the 4th hole in a row, and he converts. So coming off of a great first round and then not looking like you're giving anyone else a chance when you go 4 for 4 to get started. That's kind of the wooded section of these first few holes. Now we're going to go out into the open for a little pocket of holes. 5 through 8, certainly a little more room there. Hole 5, 479 feet. OB where this fence line is and to the right. Also OB off to the left side. And I believe this is the longest hole on the course. So time to air it out, especially after playing everything so wooded in the first 4. Oh, and some Tree Love. I think that's a sponsor of his. Free shout out. Great Tree Love, keeping Double G in bounds. That definitely was going to head OB. And that's exactly where Nick's headed. Oh, and he posted it. All right, so a pair of saves so far to keep them both in bounds. Pretty much ideal. Nice low line drive, gets the skip forward, fights up the hill. That's going to put AJ inside 25 feet. Uh-oh, is that too much? Too much on it. That doesn't have enough time to come back, so Cam's going to be out of bounds on the right side. He's given this as a spot. And at best trying to get up and down, hopefully save bogey. And that's good position to do just that. Nick, I think, told me quantitative analytics. I think that's his 9 to 5 in the banking industry. Sounds like smart people stuff. Nick comes in with a 977 rating. First round was rated 1040 as AJ. A rare chance to pick up a stroke on our leader in Double G, and he takes advantage. Double G will step up. Missing for the first time in 5 holes. And not too shabby for Cam either. His 9 under to open was rated 1030. Cam comes in with a 945 rating as he's kind of just getting back into the golf scene, he tells me, along with some help from Double G. Hole 6 feels like one you should be getting, just 281 feet. You see the OB on the short right side there, but this does play as the second easiest hole on the course. I think if you just avoid the OB, you should have a look for birdie from just about everywhere.
Get some legs. Big hop. There you go. Stop.
Wow, quite demanding. Gets some legs, then tells it to stop. I don't know if he's going to need anything else. Double G. Making it look easy to 5 feet. That's going to put him back on the birdie train. Took a little stop off in Parville for a minute. Got to be a place called the City of Par. Maybe the Town of Par. Our town. Sounds like some place like Guy Fieri would go. It'd be like Par B-Town. I don't know. Check your Google Maps. The demands pay off. AJ, back-to-back birdies. Holes 5 and 6. Nick's like, I got you. NBD, a little downhill action, no problem, inside the circle. That's going to put some pressure here on Cam. Can we complete? Oh, yeah. Star frame all day. If one of you haven't stopped the video and gone out to Google Maps to look for Par Town, or the city of Par, or the village of Par, I'm going to be disappointed. I literally have not done it myself. I'm gonna trust you guys to do so. As we head to 7, 405 feet. Also on the slightly more difficult side to get this one. It does play downhill, so certainly gettable. You have OB on the right side. It sets up great for just getting something to flip up with a righty backhand shot and then having it fade back at the end as it slows down. In fact, I think that's exactly what AJ was calling for, but the disc didn't listen, or his arm didn't. But that's what he was telling us on the tee anyway. Double G. Not quite getting over enough. The bailout zone is great, though. The left side is the place to be because if you push to the right, you can easily find yourself out of bounds, or you hit something and it kicks hard right, you're going out of bounds. And this is the shot. And that's going to be deep, but exactly the line you want. And that will be short. But left side, plenty of opening space over there. AJ, keep it rolling. Not quite getting into fall, but a good bid there by Cam. Double G switching up to a Bulldog putter recently. Oh, give that guy a bone all day. Double G from long range. You go 6 under through the front 7. Who needs to park it when you can throw them in from way deep? Coming back from circle's edge. Not to be big putted. And I'll take a moment to thank, of course, our presenting sponsor in Dynamic Disc. They're supporting the tournament, the entire Chainhawk crew and club out here. Chris, along with all of the countless volunteers, supporters, sponsors, everyone else out here that helps make this event run so smoothly. As we're heading over to 9, and we see that you have this left side gap that you have to navigate as it bends from left to right the entire way. It's the slightest downhill slope, so 300-ish feet of power will probably do the job if you have the right angle on it. Double G going mid. All right, that's going to slide him inside the circle. Beating those trees is going to be helpful, although probably will come into his stance or at least be thinking about it during the putt. Gentle turnover, similar to double G's, but that's going to have more obstruction to it. Just outside of the circle. Beautiful line from Cam. That goes right over the top of the basket. So he'll be having a comeback putt out circle's edge. AJ. Count it. The jumper from circle 2. It's going to bring him 4 under through the first 8. That's short. And I'm a little surprised to see this playing as the third easiest hole on the course. Double G from 28. Gave it 30. Off the top. And as I was watching that hit, I thought to myself, is this? Yeah, it is. That's the first time I've seen Double G's putter hit the ground from a very, in terms of a legitimate putting attempt over the last round and a half. That was the first time a legit putt has found the ground instead of the center of the basket. So Double G still looking good. 6 under through 8. And we head over to the treacherous hole 9, second most difficult hole on the course. Not easy. You got to punch the gap, continue moving straight through here. Got to stay clean all the way through. You're probably going up and over that. And then as you start to hyzer and finish at about 300-ish feet, you're then turning into the left. That fence line off to the right, the orange fence you saw, the snow fence, that and beyond is out of bounds. Usually not what you have to worry about on the tee shot. It's getting out of the gap is your biggest concern here. Green paddle is good. Put mustard on a charcuterie board. Thinking about these paddles. Maybe a little bit of wood. Probably some sausage and cheeses. Some other kind of meat. I don't know. I'm not hungry. Not at all. Double G comes up short, but inbounds, no problem. I don't think any player, if you said to every player on this card, hey, we'll just give you a 3, you don't have to even play hole 9, they'd say, deal, all day. I'll take it. Give me a 3. I don't want to even attempt a 2. Just give me a 3. And right now, what Nick wouldn't give for a 3. I don't know if he has to do some analysis on this, but that is a pitch out to the middle of the fairway. And now he's hoping to get up and down and say 4. Oh, that's tight. Not in a good way. That's tight to the left side, I mean. So still work to do. This is for bogey. All right. AJ has... okay. He had a lane.
Gotta want it. You gotta want it.
You do gotta want it. Double G has another look. Now, this is still from circle 2. Opportunity. See if you can keep the putter going. Easy to be tentative. I think you're thinking about the OB that's directly behind. And this is the drive by Cam. Beautiful birdie. Couple back-to-back birdies for him. I'm going to close it out. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Support me on Patreon if you would. When I hit 100,000 Patreon subscribers, I'm going to go from that date, go back 2 months. And if you were supporting me on Patreon from 2 months from that date or earlier, I'm going to send you a free disc. Just a free disc. It's that easy. All right, we'll see you guys in the back 9. We're halfway through the tournament. Chain Hawk Open 12 presented by Dynamic Disc. We'll see you there.